Before we get started, please take a moment to open the Check for Understanding conclusion paragraph Google form. So this is the last set of videos for the argument essay writing unit. So we're only going to be going over 3 things for the conclusion paragraph. There's conclusion requirements, and then we're going to go in depth into those requirements, and lastly look at what not to say in a concluding paragraph. Section 1, Conclusion Requirements, an overview of requirements that make up a concluding paragraph in this essay. So there are a few things that make up a concluding paragraph. You're going to need to restate your thesis statement, summarize some of the points you made, remind your reader why those points were important, and closing remarks. Section 2, Conclusion Paragraph in Depth. So we're going to go into more detail about how those 4 elements create what a concluding paragraph is. Starting with restating your thesis. So you may either restate your thesis statement or rather paraphrase it to remind your reader of the purpose of your essay. Then you'll want to summarize your points that are made in your body paragraph. The most important part about summarizing your points is reminding your reader what was the purpose of you discussing these topics, and also addressing why it's important to look at the other perspective or the counter argument to your claim. Lastly is closing remarks. This is your last chance to either convince or provide any emphasis on the points that you've made for your reader. Some things that you can do to support that is making connections to how this relates to what is happening in the world today. Or you can provide some advice or offer a solution to the question your essay prompt asked. You'll want to leave your reader with something to think about. Your essay is a conversation starter to spark something in your reader's mind, and to get them talking about the topic or side of the argument that you are making in this essay. Section 3, what not to say in a concluding paragraph. So 1, do not introduce a new point. Number 2, do not apologize for anything that you've written. And number 3, do not end vaguely, leaving the reader feeling unsatisfied. And so to dive a little deeper into number 2, the reason why I include do not apologize is because you're addressing your argument and also trying to refute the counter argument. And so maybe you might have a harsh analysis or a different perspective that may offend some readers. The conclusion is not a place to budge. Stand your ground, you made your claims, and this is why you were writing this paper. Number 3, the reason why I talk about not ending vaguely is that you don't want to leave it on a sentence where you just say, all right, I'm done now. Give them something to think about at the end. This often happens because sometimes the last sentence is not very strong, or you as a writer may run out of things to say. This is the last Check for Understanding. Please pull up the Check for Understanding Google form for the concluding paragraph and answer the following questions. What are the responsibilities of a concluding paragraph? Check all that apply. And what don't you do in a concluding paragraph? Check all that apply. Pause here and resume after answering.